stay tuned for more, just getting started. Every guy yelled the warning, everything to fill the right place. I just way you know you try, going some nuts, a little tated by the light. It's great, we're on your side, on Mike said I was right. Yeah, like the place. Right place was Captain 7.
Alright guys, time to build this car up. We're back again with the Rlaarlo AM-X12 roller chassis. We're going to be putting in the Surpass Hobby Rocket 2845, running with the same ESC we had in the LC. It's the RAS 60 amp. It's my old trusty. And we're going to be putting in my favorite, my favorite for this class is the JX118. It's a metal geared servo. This shouldn't take too long. It should be pretty quick, to be honest. But it'll be interesting to take a look at the inside of this. And with any luck, we got a snowstorm coming, so I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get out to rip. Everybody on our and around us are betting down the hatches. So for whatever that's worth. Yeah, we'll pull that out. This will go in there like that, and we'll get things right. Just like that. So, all right, be right back. I'll get the tools and we'll get going. Alright, we're going to start with the motor. It comes with the hardware for mounting and 2 different size pinions. Considering we'll probably speed run this first, we got some bad weather coming, so more likely we'll be able to do that first. We'll do some speed runs and see how she handles. Now, unfortunately, due to the design, you do have to take off this back piece in order to take the... I'm not even showing it. So you got to take off this back piece in order to take the... cover off in order to fit the pinion in there. That's pretty good. I'll go back through and Loctite this, but this is just a bench test first to see how things go. But yeah, it's not bad. I'll probably cut back. I'll show you I'll get this apart and show you, talked about it, because this is different than the WL, but it's the same. You know, this cover has to come off, whether it's WL, Rlaarlo, LC, they all have the same protective cover. So it's kind of perfect. I got the last bit. My camera turned off, but we put the motor mount on, and we were in the process of taking the 4 bolts off of here. So just in case, just a little recap. I got one left to do. Oops, wrong one. And then you can take the cover off to access where the pinions are going to go, or the motor mount. I'm going to try and just squeeze it by without having to take the front off as well. Now you'll see in a lot of mine, a lot of my LC, my WLs, I'll leave that section off so I can do quicker swaps. So in the end, we might do something like that. But for now, we'll just leave it because it's just a piece. See, this comes off like this, and that's a nice. Yeah, it's the same slipper clutch. It's a nice slipper clutch. They do a good job on it. It should have some good feel on the track, and we're going to be using this larger pinion. There we go. Now these are pretty much always where the top of this will line up, or the bottom will line up with your motor mount itself. I'm guessing at this point, but I've done enough of these where I'm pretty comfortable where it's supposed to go. Otherwise you'd have to take it, and I might have to do some minor adjustments later, but I have a feeling I'll be right on, because it's pretty much where I can fit the tool in is always pretty much where it goes. But yeah, again, I'll go back through and Loctite this all if everything lines up right. But you just slide it back in like this. See, this is where you run into problems. You sometimes have to loosen it to get it. The bigger pinion, the little pinion's easy, but the speed pinion, you kind of have to finagle it in there, because there is it's a really nice. Let me show you that. You can see there's grooves. Most of these motor mounts don't have those guide grooves, so it is a tighter fit, a nicer fit. Quality stuff. Let's see if we can get it in without the pinion first. Maybe we'll put it in after. Or maybe we'll go with the smaller one if this is being a pain. So there, yeah. I don't know how they expect you to get that around that, unless, because it's kind of annoying, kind of real annoying. We're learning together, guys. Yeah, see, no matter how you do it, see, that's a little bit beyond annoying. You almost have to trim it just to get it in there initially. Now this would be the downfall with all these. But it's like, okay, so you're making it so that I have to take the motor mount off the bottom in order to use the adjustable motor mount. So you get the adjustability, but there's no other advantage to it whatsoever. You know, none at all. Like, it doesn't help you switching pinions because you're still stuck. Like, I'm gonna have to. I don't have a choice. I'm gonna have to. I'll be right back. Let me fiddle with this a minute. All right, we're back. We got it in there. We'll use the smaller pinion for now. We'll baseline it with the stock. This is what the track's gonna want in the end anyways. So if we do get a chance to jump on the track, that's fine. But in order to do it, I had to loosen the screws off of the motor mount base just to finagle it in underneath this cover. And that's a small one. So the big one's going to be even more pain in the butt. So keep that in mind. This thing is, while the adjustable motor mount is nice, it doesn't mean that you don't have to loosen your motor mount itself in order to get it around the guides. But again, in the end, I'll probably end up taking that off. Or cutting it out so that it can handle the bigger pinions, because you know how I do. You know, make sure these are good and tight. Yeah, so let's get our mesh in there. We'll get it buttoned up. Where is it? How lighting is in here? Let's try that again. Get that mesh in there. Get it lined up right. Probably fast forward through a bunch of this, and then they come with the two motor mounts. And then we'll move on to the servo, which is pretty much taking the two bolts off the bottom. And then I got to button up these four. So I'll button this up real quick, and I'll come back and we'll move on to the servo. Alright, I got that all back together. Tighten our four down, make sure our cover's on there. And you want to check your drivetrain, make sure it's not too tight. Nice thing is you can, this is the advantage. So that feels a little wonky, so you give it a little, always take the raw wood. Maybe it's this one. So you just give it a little loosen. It felt okay when I put it in there, but when you anchor them down, they sometimes much better. And then give them another twist. So next is the servo, which we're going to be doing the JX1181. It's an awesome servo. You just take these two bolts off here, which I believe is this one, which shouldn't be too bad because it's just into plastic. Shouldn't have any Loctite on it, nothing like that. And I'll show you the motor mount that they, or the servo mount that they use. It should be identical to WL's or pretty close to it. It's this style right here. It's got some extra ridging, which is nice. It's actually a better piece of plastic than the one that WL comes with. So on this, there's never room to fit it, to zero it and then put it in. So what I'm going to do, using our handy dandy servo center thingy dingy dingy, whatever you want to call it, we'll center it first and get it pretty close. That way, if we have to adjust, it's not off much. You know, we'll try and get as close as possible. And for these, you just need pretty much any battery, 2-cell, or you can even use these. I'm pretty sure if I get it in there the right way. Yeah, see, the light turns on. My fingers are working. You hear the servo wind up. Don't get old, guys. So there's a test button that makes it do its thing. Make sure it works fine. Neutral is center. That should be centered for the most part. So then we just attach it first, as close to center as possible. Kind of set it in place and make sure it looks pretty close. So you gotta go off a little bit more. And then it doesn't look like I got the screw for the servo itself. So we'll come with the servos, which is probably not a bad idea anyways. Which is one of these guys. I think that's all it comes with. Oh no, it does come with the little one. We'll use that. And then once you get that in there, you just put the two screws in the bottom and that's it. So I'll get those two put back on, and then we'll get our ESC put in place. We'll do a bench test real quick. So I'll come back and these two screws will be in and we'll be all buttoned back up. Alright. Got it loose fit. A lot of these ESCs, the red and the yellow, are reversed. So we'll test it out using our CNHL 2S 100C MAW or 100C LiPo. And I'm not sure which one of these is good. Both of them, the antennas were pulled out, but they work for the bench test and they work for what we're doing most of the time. Most of the time. Again, this is, once I'm sure everything is set, then we'll button it back up and that'll be that for this video. Nothing too exciting, but this is a cool rig. I'm pretty excited about it, to get it out there. This is right up, let's see how fast that servo is. I'm so impressed. Yeah, they're backwards. Hold on one second. Switch. You never know with these guys. Seems to be that's the most common problem with these aftermarket motors and ESCs. They a lot of times they get their poles backwards. So this one's got a gyro. If this was a WL, I would be ripping this diff apart and checking it. But the Rlaarlos have been really reliable on that side, so I'm not gonna mess with that. But yeah, she's a beaut. Pretty sweet, pretty happy. So we'll get this out as soon as possible, and we'll get it buttoned up, and hopefully you guys dig. That Servo is awesome. It's just, if you WL guys, you know exactly what I mean. Look at that, look at that, look at that. I can't wait to get on the track. Should be able to compete with our LC all day. Now this is our version of that car. We made it from scratch. It's got the same slipper clutch, but it uses a different drive shaft. It's not a single piece. And we do have carbon fiber on it, but we're using a Surpass just like that. But this will be nice because on our LC we know exactly what we can get. We can get 35 with this exact configuration, even the same pinion. So if we get the same match that speed and it handles it nice, then it's a win-win in my book. Plus then we can race this with the LC and it'll be nice. We've got lots of cars to race with this. So yeah, let me button this all the way up and we'll come back for a quick closing. So we're back. Just button the last pieces up. We got everything in there. I didn't seat the receiver or transmitter because, or the receiver. Jeez, my brain's not working today. Because I might be changing it out. This one's the one with the bad antenna. What I like to do, just as a trick for you guys, like I'm constantly changing these things out. So I try to use as few zip ties as possible. And to do that, all I do is zip tie the motor to itself and tuck it in. It stays. And then I'll twist up my other wires and zip tie them to the battery mount. So that what that'll do is when your battery's down there, so even if you don't have it secured too terribly good, like I'm still gonna put sticky tape on whatever we end up with that, but the wires themselves kind of stay as one unit. So that's just what I do. I don't know if it's right or wrong. I'm just from my laziness and efficiency perspective, it's like I don't want to, after the first 10-15 times of having 12 zip ties on this system, and then having to undo it and redo it and undo it, redo it. This is the simplest way for me. So yeah, we're all set. She's ready to go. We'll get it on the track as soon as possible. And any luck, it'll be not too much snow. Now, the one thing keep in mind is these are kind of made for those larger packs, not the half packs that you see for the 114s, but these still fit in there. This is ideal for the 114s. But with any luck, we'll put the cap on it and see how well it sits. I do, like I said, there should be a two-sided sticky tape on that, but is what it is. But it should just fit right over top. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. So hopefully you guys dig. I wanted to do this with as a fix and rip, but that's not the way Murphy played it today. This weather, this cold front, you guys be careful. Next couple weeks, if you're in the Northeast or the Midwest, we're supposed to have a interesting time for the next 10 days or so. A little extra food ain't gonna hurt. We could lose power, you know. Cold weather's cold weather. All your electric cars are gonna have problems. A lot less running. So yeah, here we go. Like and subscribe, guys. I hopefully you dig, and we got a lot more stuff coming up. We'll get this out. We got the second half of the Arma 8S that we were running. Doing the battery testing, we'll do a speed run and all that good jazz. And then we also have the Terra Scorcher will be on the bench soon. We'll get that going. And trying to think, there might be a build battle coming up soon. And the MF01XB conversion that we're doing. So hopefully you guys are digging. I won 12 guys. We'll get this out as soon as possible. I'm leaving the film on it for now. We'll take it off after we give it a good bash. But it'll be nice to get that on the jump. So hopefully you guys dig. This is just kind of a quick, like I was saying, a quick how to set it up. Initial put the motor mount in so you can get a closer look at the inside of the motor mount on it. And, you know, see what it looks like. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we'll get some speed runs on it, get some baselines, see how this motor and ESC does on it. Maybe we'll even do a run to 100. I think Mike over RCRX was talking about getting one of these, and if he does, you know, him and I will be racing. So you know how that goes. So anyways, I'll see you guys when I see you, and yeah, happy 2025. We're here. I'll see you when I see you.
Stay tuned for more, just getting started. Every guy you'll feel worried. Everything you feel the right place. I just wait, you know you try. Going some nuts, a little taste by the light. It's great, we'll love your side. Don't like say that was right. Really like to play. Right place was 27 when my long game members. Right place, sucker, had a few spenders in.